guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you are welcome. Kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification so you know whenever I post a new video. Today we're going to be looking at the 12 lessons I learned in 2024. This year has been filled with so many lessons for me, from life lessons to experiences to meeting really interesting people. And if you're like me that have experienced some things in this year, or you have your lessons, you can share it on the comment section and I would respond to it. So the first lesson I learned this year is trust in the process. Now, trust in the process is hard, okay? When you have a dream, or when the Lord gives you a goal or a vision and you're supposed to work towards something and you have to trust that process, is hard. Now, most times the Lord will show you the end of a thing, right? And you are the starting point. The process to get there may not be revealed to you. But as you take each steps every day, as you take active steps, you get closer to that goal. But you see that process, that waiting process. That process is hard. Like, when there are a lot of things the Lord told me over the course of the years, and I began to see them happening in my life this year. Prior to them happening, I would feel like, am I doing the wrong thing? Um, am I not going about it the right way? I would question a lot of things. And a friend of mine once said, listen, when you get to that point where you're not sure of what to do, take a deep breath and say, Lord, I trust you. Simple, right? But it's not simple. Like, there are days when I would say the words over and over again. Lord, I trust you, I trust you, I trust you. And my head is still wrapping up. It's still going, are you sure you're doing the right thing? Are you sure you're not making mistakes? Are you sure this is... It's okay. If you're there, it's okay. Right? In 2020, 31st night, I was in my 31st night service, and the Lord said to me, your international doors are open. And I was excited. Like, I mean, everybody wanted to travel. I wanted to travel. And January 2021, I started, asking the Lord, okay, where am I supposed to travel to? I mean, I have places I wanted to travel to. And of course, the number one place in most people's mind, I won't say everybody, or like, oh, you want to travel, then travel to the US. So I started my application. You know, I was going in the application. I got my admission for my master's. I got my visa, appointment date, and everything. I prepped so hard. Like, I prepared with people that has gone for the interview, gotten it. I was going, and that day came. I got dressed. I was corporately dressed. I went for the interview, and when I got before the officer, and he was asking questions, I wasn't like nervous. I was answering the questions according to how I rehearsed them, and you know and the next thing he said was, oh, sorry, at this point, ah no. It was so devastating. When I went back home, I cried. I'm like, Lord, did you not say my international doors are open? What is this? What's going on? I cried a lot. And my sister was the one that did the process financially and all of that. And she called and she was like, don't give up, we're not giving up, we're going to try again. And I'm like, okay, we're going to try again. And I went back to pray, and the Lord said, your international doors are open. The same word, nothing. And I'm like, okay, maybe I didn't do something right. Let's try again. And later that same year, I went back to the embassy and got a rejection again. Now I can smile about it, but it wasn't that easy. And a friend of mine called and said, Riwo, trust the process. Ah, what process? No, this process is difficult. Like, it's hard. What am I not doing right? I kept wondering, and the whole of 2021 um, went by. We were in 2022. And at that point, I didn't even feel like doing anything anymore. I'm like, okay, maybe I could apply for somewhere else. And, you know, it was just a struggle, right? It was back and forth, and it looked like it wasn't working. It looked like that word that my international doors were open was not coming to pass. In 2023, I was like, okay, let me apply to another country. So I applied to Canada. It did not work. Ah, international does bow. Eh, at that point, I'm like, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe the Lord didn't really say. And this is the thing you need to, pay attention to. The devil will start capitalizing on those things, on those failures. Like my mind was like, oh, you're not doing the right thing, and all of that. And I kept hearing, trust the process. I was still trusting the process. These years have passed. And in 2023, I told myself, okay, maybe there is something I'm not understanding, right? What am I supposed to learn that I've not learned? I realized that from when I heard your international doors are open to when I started applying, the reason why I was to travel had been contaminated. So at that point, I joined the league of I want to jackpot. I mean, if you're Nigerian, you understand that term. So it's like, no, there is a reason why you need to go into international borders, but not because you are going through the bandwagon of jackpot people. So I took a time and started seeking the Lord. And in 2023, I was opportunity to travel. I applied to the UK to attend my sister's graduation. And I remember when the process was ongoing, I was so scared. I'm like, okay, what if I don't get it again? But I remember the day I got the notification that my passport was being sent back from the UK embassy to me. I sat down on the floor and I said, Lord, I trust you. Even if I don't get this, I trust what you're doing. And when the passport came and I opened it and I got the visa, I was so excited. I called my sister. I was like, yes, I was super excited. And I traveled, came back, and my sister was, okay, let's apply to the US again, which I did in this year, 2024. And from when I got back from the UK to 2024, what I continued doing was praying to the Lord to help my heart not to focus on the traveling, the I must leave the country because I felt the economy was bad and all of that, but to actually focus on my purpose and the impact I want to have in the life of others. And fast forward into 2024, I applied for the visa and I got it. Like it was that easy. I'm going to do a separate video about the process because it was God's hand at work. Seeing my visa and having to travel to the US has really been a journey for me. But one thing I could say is trusting the process was hard. There are days I cried, there are days I doubted myself. But nonetheless, I trust regardless. So if you are doubting what the Lord has said to you or what you want to become, I'm going to say to you, trust the process. Even in the dark days, trust the process. I'm going to end with the scripture, and where is it? So it's Jeremiah 29, verse 11. It says, "For I know the thoughts I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." The Lord's thoughts towards you are perfect. And I'm also going to read Philippians chapter 1 and verse 6. It says, "Being confident of this very thing, that he which had begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ." Don't give up. Trusting the process is hard, but you can do it. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and I'm going to put my email on the chat panel, on the comment section or description, one of those two. But if you have questions, if you have a message, or if you just feel like reaching out to someone, if you've been on my shoes or you're going through something and it looks like you're losing hope and you can't trust the process and you just need someone to talk to, you can send me a mail and I would respond to you and we'll take it from you there. Trust the process. It may be hard, it may be difficult, but trust. Bye.